Titanfall with Shibby. Today's daily raffle, one copy of Titanfall, sponsored by G2A. Leave a comment on this video, it's that easy to enter. Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Shibby and today we are playing some Titanfall. We have the full release here and we'll be playing a variety of maps, and also we have some Titan footage and also using the compact SMG, the R97. We can talk about the stats, and then also, will Titanfall have lasting power to stay relevant in the coming months? Right now, there's not a whole lot of good shooters out there. People will argue that, well, Battlefield, yeah, it has a lot of depth, it has a whole lot of lasting power as far as mastering different styles of gameplay, playing in both vehicles, there's a ton of maps, there's a lot to do, a lot of game modes. Totally, I'm not disagreeing with that, but a lot of people have been turned off from Battlefield because of all the issues, especially on the console versions, which apparently people can't play half the time. There's a lot of problems, and I don't really know. I don't play Battlefield on console. Obviously, PC, Master Race. Then we look towards Call of Duty. Now, people say Call of Duty kind of died with Black Ops 2, but I definitely see with Ghosts, played a little bit of it, it's quite bad. So I think the Call of Duty franchise, if they don't do something very new or innovative soon, if they just keep going out with pooping out the same thing every year, they're going to be in trouble. Now, I believe the next Call of Duty coming out is from Sledgehammer Studios, so they have 3 studios on a 3-year rotation. We'll see. I mean, will they be adding mechs into Call of Duty? Possibly. Probably not this time around, but maybe next time. I can definitely see that, because Titanfall, it has the mech mechanics and it just does them right, and they're not overpowered or it's like, oh my god, this guy's a Titan, GG, game over, rage quit, FF at 20. It's not really like that. It's balanced enough that it just simply works. So we've talked about Call of Duty, Battlefield, so now that Titanfall is here, we'll see where that's going to be. And then we have our other shooters. I mean, we got, you know, TF2, Counter-Strike. I'm trying to think of anything else that people actually play that really is a shooter other than those few. And nothing really is coming to mind that, you know, I'm seeing a whole lot of on YouTube or people are really enjoying. Of course, we have our sandbox games like Grand Theft Auto 5 that people love doing funny moments. And then you have other games such as Trouble in Terrorist Town, which I would say is less of a shooter and is more of like a psychological, just social game almost. I mean, some people, they're terrible at shooting, but they'll still play the game just because it's really funny and they just like talking and chatting with people and just messing with people's heads. That totally works. One thing I'm curious about picking your brains about is, since Titanfall is trying to capture the Call of Duty audience with, you know, just how it is, I would say it's definitely more tailored towards COD than Battlefield. I mean, a few of you might argue, well, I mean, there's a mech, so it's a vehicle, therefore Battlefield. The maps are large, therefore Battlefield. But the actual shooting mechanics, pretty much you can just aim down sights and just shoot with any weapon. There's really not a whole lot of customization. And we'll see with depth of the game, just how far it'll go. Like, yeah, you can prestige, but there's not as much stuff going on as there is in Battlefield 4. Now, the more stuff you have, usually the longer the game lasts. For example, just kind of coming to the top of my head, League of Legends has, I don't know, 118 champions right now or something like that. And you can build champions in many different ways, and I mean, yeah, there's different game modes, but mostly just Summer's Rift. There's so much to do in that game that the game offers a lot of choices for the player. There's a lot to do, there's a lot of things to master. You can always get better. While I would say in a shooter, I mean, it's not quite like Quake or Counter-Strike that there's only so much you can do and there's so much depth. And I think Titanfall right now it does not have the depth that I'm seeing. Now maybe that's because I'm only maybe like level 15 right now. Perhaps that is the case, but just kind of what I'm seeing so far. Now I'm not hating at the game or hating on the game, not at the game. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's quick. It's snappy. The mechanics are sound. It just works. It really is good. If you guys haven't picked it up yet, I would definitely suggest checking it out because it really is quite a lot of fun. But I'm just kind of curious, say you want to base your whole YouTube channel off Titanfall. Like that's your jam, you're going to be the Titanfall guy. Will the game be relevant in 4, 5, or 6 months? Will people still be playing like they are now? Will people who play every day still be invested? Like, yeah, the game is still very interesting and I really enjoy it, and there's always things I can get better at, but there's only three Titan suits right now, not suits, but skeletons. I'm trying to think of the terminology. It's kind of escaping me right now. There's only so many Titan weapons and ways to customize your Titan. It's kind of like you find your best loadout and your favorite attachments, kind of go from there. I don't know. maybe I'm crazy, but I'm sure a couple of you feel the same way, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts as far as, just like from what I'm seeing, I just don't see a whole lot of depth. And what I mean by that is kind of stuff to do, stuff to master, different ways to play the game. It's sort of all kind of just very, very similar in my mind. Switching gears here, let's talk about the R97 Compact SMG. It's the weapon my pilot is using. Pilots do have 200 health, so keep that on your mind. It is basically the fastest firing weapon in the game at 960 RPM, or rounds per minute. Its damage is 40, it then drops sharply to 30 around the 25-meter range, and then 30 flat. First Titans, it's going to be doing something like 20 to 10 damage, and when you rodeo a Titan, it does about 80 damage. One thing that's really nice is the reload speed is pretty fast, and the magazine holds 40 rounds. Also, it has quite a small spread compared to the other SMG, the Hemlock. So our ADS is 0.25, if you guys are curious, while the Hemlock is 0.35. So when you're aiming down sights, that's sort of the spread you're going to be looking at. So it is pretty tight, and it does fire also pretty tight from the hip. So you can spray and pray, quote unquote, quite well. As the video here comes to a close, these have been my sort of unfiltered, unwritten down thoughts of Titanfall, just kind of speaking freely about the depth and what I'm thinking so far. Will it have lasting power? And also the compact SMG that I am digging a lot right now. Let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you guys next time. Kind of bail out of my YOLO transport, doesn't really matter. I'll just kind of hang out here with my buddy, got my Suave and my spawn beacon. We're some both chill up here. Mr. Sniper 28, he's also a pilot. We're both professionals. So let me just start here. Oh man, like we got a hit marker. Okay, that's pretty good for the first shot. Looks like he's dead, and then what the fuck? Team kill.
I am the rocket man they talk about. I jump from star to star, I walk it out.